Welcome. Shankara's teachings are deep and profound. RamanaMaharshi lived these teachings. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard Clarke. I'm reviewing and commenting on Adi Shankara's Atma Bodha, or self-knowledge. Today is verse 24. The notion of I know is produced by the antakarana's indiscriminate blending of two aspects of the Atman, existence and consciousness. In this verse, Adi Shankara explains how the sense of being an individual, the one who says, I know, arises. He's helping you to understand how the ego comes into being and how it falsely claims the qualities of the self. The core teaching is this: the true self is pure existence and pure consciousness. It is ever present, never changing, and always aware. But the mind, the antakarana, which includes thought, memory, and identity, blends with the self. A mistaken sense of I is born. The mind by itself is inert. It has no light of its own, no knowing ability. It can't know anything unless it borrows the light of knowing from consciousness, just as the moon shines only on reflecting sunlight. The mind functions only because of the presence of the self. But the problem begins when the mind forgets its borrowed nature. It fuses itself with consciousness and wrongly says, I know, as if the ego itself is the knower. It says, I am. It is that false identity that is the target of self-inquiry. This is what Sankara calls the indiscriminate blending. The mind takes two qualities that truly belong only to the self, existence and consciousness, and misappropriates them. It feels I exist and I know, and concludes that the individual person, the ego, is real and independently aware. But that's a confusion. What's actually happening is that the self is shining on the mind, and the mind is functioning in that light. To make this clearer, think of a hot pan taken off the stove. The heat came from the fire, but the pan feels hot. The mind is like that pan, borrowing the heat of the self's awareness and then acting as if it is naturally hot. The questioner and anyone seeking self-knowledge is being pointed back to the source. Sankara is saying, don't believe the mind's claim to be the knower. The mind is only an instrument. The self is never involved in thought. It never says, I know. It simply is. The ego is a superimposition, like mistaking a rope for a snake. When that error is corrected, you no longer fear the snake. Likewise, when the mistaken I is seen for what it is, a blending of the inert mind with the light of the self, you return to peace. Sankara's teaching here is subtle but freeing. Awareness doesn't belong to the mind. It is the nature of your true self. You are the self. The self knows itself. The self knows itself by its own light. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. RamanaMaharshi could say so much with just a few words. In these books, I give comments and guided inquiries in ordinary English to deepen your practice. Available from Amazon. The link is in the video notes. These videos bring Sankara's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like. Send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.